What's up and welcome to episode 2 of Building Utapau in Lego. Now I know it's been a couple months since our last episode and I apologize for that, but now it's time to get back to work. Obviously, last time we built a massive section of it already built with all the water and bottom terrain as well as the mountainscape with all the rock work, looking absolutely fantastic in my opinion so far. But this time we're going to begin work on the main city portion of the MOC with the battlefields, the buildings, the landing platforms. With all that being said, let's get into it. Now to begin the city section of the MOC, I actually laid out our ATT here as well as multiple 16 by 16 plates and put them together to get a feel for how large I need to make the city section, as well as starting to lay out some of the floor panels that are going to be representing the iconic kind of look of Utapau with a lot of different triangular little shapes in the ground, which I feel works really nicely with these little designs I came up with really quickly, kind of using a snot technique, and we'll use that with a variety of different other just regular building techniques. Now I began to build and section off exactly where I need the main street to go that'll be going between these two modular sections, as well as this really cool, interesting building that you see here in Utapau. This is my reference kind of picture here. And it is kind of a hotel-y kind of feeling, as my friend Yako from Star Wars Fan Room says. It kind of looks like like a Utapau hotel, so we're kind of going with that kind of design. And then I began to build more of the details on the street, as you see here, where I actually have a couple reference photos where the street's kind of definitely damaged, but you have like this little middle railway that kind of goes through. And I'm really enjoying how this is looking for the Utapau street so far, and kind of give us an idea of how else I want to design the rest of the MOC. And of course, it's very modular, just you can take it on and off and just sits just like that. Now this Utapau building right here is going to be really unique. It's something I never built before. I started building these little pillars that have a little bit of dark gray and mostly tan structure that's going to be going up throughout it, as well as getting the window sections as we see here, which is quite unique, using a different bit of sloping there and getting these going to be actually lighting and going to be in the back of that, as well as trying to make it more of a damage and kind of weathered detail for the basic outline of the building. But overall, super excited how this is looking so far for the Utapau building section as well as the street here. But now I'm going to continue to work on the rest of the build here. Now with building this, I was continuing to work on the second or the very end of that modular section with the street going out throughout the remaining build. And building this was actually super fun, and something I've never really done before is building a kind of like urban setting. It really like in depth in Star Wars. I usually build like more terrain, you know, more rock work, more trees, as we did Kashyyyk and stuff like that. But this really gives me an opportunity to work on something new. And speaking of something new, we have here our kind of first initial landing platform. Now this is going to be the very smallest of the multiple I'm going to make. I quickly made this really cool kind of small landing platform for maybe some small little cargo shuttles to land different little like supplies on or something like that. There's definitely gonna be a lot of like boxes and supplies on top of this landing platform. So I went ahead and I built that into this modular here. And then I began to actually put more of the window structures down. They get that kind of iconic Utapau window architecture, which I'm really enjoying, kind of making these little bits and pieces of the Utapau building, which will be several stories tall, at least 2 stories tall, to kind of capture the tall effect of all the Utapau buildings. So I really enjoyed kind of putting more detail into that. And as well as a fun fact, or the fun little details we're gonna be adding here, is there's gonna be an actual little room you can actually go into that's gonna be a kind of Utapau, like I guess they sell stuff out of, or maybe like a little room or whatever you want to kind of make a design. Let me know down below what we should add in this little room. But I continue to actually build more of the floor and add the remaining little pillar details to try to make it feel like it's like holding up a big structure. And here's more of a better look at the kind of building here, kind of having that iconic kind of a circular entrance that Star Wars really has. And then the most important thing about this building is going to have to be built up to hold up the rock work on top. So I continued to work on the balcony and the large pillar that's going to be kind of inverted going upward to be able to hold the rock work in. But now I think it's time to work more on the really large landing platform I built here. Now I did this more of a brick built kind of way, using wedge pieces and a bunch of plates. and then just started designing it. Now, a lot of the Utapau platforms have a variety of crazy designs in this kind of dark tan and just regular tan colors. So I kind of put a little bit of a designs all over the top, making sure I have different studs and crack details where I can add tons of like troopers like Commander Cody and the 212th landing their troopers on this. Now for our next platform, I already did a ton of work on and I kind of wanted to know what you guys thought about this. So I actually built it in this snot technique right here where you can get a lot of fun details, lots of cool different little angles and stuff that you do see on the Utapau platforms, but it is obviously, as you can see, severely lacking in structural stability, as well as it's already kind of fell apart right here as I was trying to work on it on this side right here. And then on the bottom part that actually is probably gonna help either way we do this is I have this big Technic kind of beam coming out from this rock face right here. So all you gotta do is just put this platform on top and there you go. It's just like that. But I'm also thinking about making a different design, just like similar to the one I built earlier, with it being more brick built, where I can actually have a little more structurally sound, as well as I can add the actual kind of skeleton, bony structures that are on these Utapau platforms. So let me show the other option what we can do for the platforms. Now the next option here is I started working on this platform, which is gonna be the same kind of concept for the one I just showed you, the same shape, but brick built, and this is already kind of looking much better, and it's actually going to be much bigger actually. So I'm really happy with how this is turning out. As you can see, I have kind of gotten the main shape, as well as I got this border going all the way across that will actually be able to add a lot of these skeleton kind of structures that are going to go on the side and be able to build more skeletal structures on top of this platform. So overall, really pleased how the shaping of this platform goes. I'm not going to be able to totally complete it this episode, but let me know down below, option 1 being the snot technique and option 2 being this more brick built technique, which is going to be a little more structurally sound and bigger. Now it's time to add all the work we've done to the MOC to see what exactly looks like. I began to add the first modular here and added a starfighter here being Obi-Wan's. I won't specifically be on this, but I wanted to show the size of it. Added a few Utapauans, since these are some nice Clone Army customs, or not Clone Army customs, Grandpa Clone customs, and then added a couple 212 Clone Troopers, as well as this custom Crab Droid. There's going to be a lot of them going out through the whole battlefield. Added a couple Battle Droids, and here is what it looks like so far. Added to the top of the rock structure, and I have to say, it's looking so cool so far, and you can truly see where the Utapau little designs are starting to come to life in this, and how the battlefield will slowly come to life with all the kind of troopers and battle droids battling out on top, which I'm just so ecstatic about, especially this little top platform here with a balcony. There's gonna be lots of fun scenes on these balconies, as well as our bigger kind of middle platform. This will be like the one that I believe I'm gonna have like an ATTE coming on, and Commander Cody and stuff like that will be on top of that. So we'll continue to work on that. But we have this also this other side with the more brick built technique here, with actually do have Commander Cody and the 212 on it, just to give a little perspective, as well as the ATTE on the other side. Hopefully the ATTE will fit in very nicely, as well as maybe another one, but that might overcrowd it because we need to add some separatist vehicles as well. But really pleased how this larger, kind of wider platform had turned out. So guys, that is gonna do it for episode 2 of building Utapau in Lego. We're gonna be continuing to working on the Utapau city with working on more of the main buildings, battlefield sections, bigger, better platforms that are gonna be going along this section, continuing the platform section that's gonna be going on right here, and adding more awesome details to really bring the Battle Utapau to life in Lego. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.